Those characters would come. Well, for instance, out of the show, as a guest character, was Sabrina. And she was introduced in the show and became a huge hit. Fred Silverman went on vacation. He took with him some food and some comic books. And in one of the comic books, and they were Archie comics, and Fred was the head of children's programming at CBS at the time. He called me when he got back from his vacation. He said, I saw a really terrific character, and you want to go talk to Mr. Goldwater and see if you can get the rights. And I said, who or what was the character? He said, well, he was a little character in the bottom strip of one of the Archie comics, and her name was, he said, her name was, oh yeah, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I said, that sounds like a fun thing. And I did go to John Goldwater, who was president of Archie Comics, and I said, why don't we try to introduce her in something and see whether it works, because she's their age, she's got magic, she does these things that kids would love to be able to do, and she lives with two sweet aunts who are witches. Archie was such a hit that one of our problems was trying to figure out how to make the shows different every year. So what we did is the Archie Show, which was his first show, the Archie Comedy Hour, that's the one where we photographed a live audience watching a show on stage. And what we did was we went cut back from the live show, and it went all through the show. The kids and my two kids were in the front seats, and Hal's kid was sitting right beside them. Archie's TV Funnies. Kids in school decided they're running the school paper, that they're going to put comics in the school paper. And we did Dick Tracy, we did a bunch of them. We did one that we didn't have the rights to do. I thought I had made a deal with the guy who owned the comedy. And he watched it one Saturday morning. He called me, and he said, Lou, he said, yeah? Well, he said, you ran my character on your show. You don't have the rights to do it. I said, I think I made a mistake. And he was a very nice guy. And he said, well, if you only show it once, he said, I won't cause any trouble. My favorite was the U.S. of Archie. It was really a show with a message. It was a show with the concept being based on reality. And what we did is we put the Archies in costumes of various moments in U.S. history. And you could watch that show, and you could pass a test the next day about history with the Archies. And we did it with comedy and music. It was a fun show, too. The Archie Sabrina Hour, we did a special with Sabrina. Ed Silverman had come back and said, can you get the rights to that character? And we did do this special, and the special got great numbers. And we did the next season, we did the special, and it had some great,